it's Yasmin and welcome back to my channel. So I know I haven't been posting weekly on YouTube as I promised, but it's for a good reason. I'm not the type of creator that would talk about any topic no matter what to gain some views or just to post something out there. I made this channel specifically for my 20s journey. Things that I go through, my thoughts, and honestly the last few weeks I felt so burnt out. I didn't have any new topics to talk about. I was just dealing with my last topic, and honestly it wasn't until I had this conversation last week that I have this topic right now, and I really want to share this with you. And I don't know how long this video will be, but I just want to put it out there. So this conversation genuinely unsettled me, not in a bad way but not in a good way either. It's just like this weird feeling, you know? It's more of like the thing that you normalized for so long, suddenly you started changing perspective on, like you don't see it the same anymore. So I was talking with someone older than me. There is a generation gap for sure, but not centuries. Maybe like 30, 40-year age gap, you know? And the way they described how their days used to work, how they used to talk to people, how they used to spend their attention, I genuinely felt like I was listening to someone from another civilization. The whole week I kept thinking to myself, how did we get here? Oh, let me break down the conversation first. So we were talking about how people are communicating now versus how they used to communicate back then. And they said something that really stuck with me. They said, we just used to talk to people. We'd say something, and if it landed wrong, you figured it out and move on. Nobody was keeping score. And I think I sat with that for a whole minute just thinking about it. Because nowadays we've built a whole wall around things, like a whole architecture system around things we should say, things we shouldn't say, topics we should never ever talk about. Like every message is so well thought of and drafted in a way. Every reply is weighted. Everything is just like there is a lot of thinking that goes behind communicating with another person. So careful, so precise. Like sometimes I'm sick of it. Like I think that's why we don't have any social energy anymore. And look, I'm not trying to say anything wrong. I get where everything comes from. The conversation around boundaries, around consent, around emotional safety. All of that matters. I'm not dismissing it in any way. But here's what really went wrong. Somewhere along the way, we took something that was wrong and we overcorrected it hard. We went from don't be rude, don't be cruel, be kinder to people, respect people, to don't make anyone feel anything they didn't opt into. The result is that we have millions of people connected to hundreds of other people, and generally no one is close to one another. Relationships have become somewhat meaningless. Like it became somewhat a managed experience, carefully curated in a way. Low risk, low surprise, low depth. We became so afraid to cross a boundary that all our communication with anyone has become just this on-surface thing. Like there is no in-depth or meaningful conversation anymore. Another thing was the work problem. Now this conversation is so long. It was like a 40-minute conversation, so we talked about a lot of things. Now let me talk to you about something that's very hard to admit, because when I admitted to myself it was very hard. Look at the work we're producing now and compare it to other older generations. I'm talking generally, not about like a certain project or a certain person. At our general output compared to something, I don't know, from the 80s, for example. Look at what passes for creativity in 2026. Like I bet you most of our creativity nowadays just come from Pinterest boards. We just like collage some ideas together and we present a new idea. Though we have more tools than the generations before us, we somehow didn't learn how to use them in a right way and just started copy-pasting everything we see online. And We're just misusing the tools that are on our hands. Have more references. It's so easy to learn a new thing nowadays. Have AI helping us, but we're just asking ChatGPT to do our assignment and copy pasting it and hoping that the teacher won't know that it's from AI. Like, but also contributing to the problem, because I asked myself, like, when did I use my brain to generate something new, to create more new ideas, let my creativity out? Because honestly, we never let that happen anymore. Can't we have a gap in our day? We run to our phones to scroll and just waste our time away. Never let ourselves wonder. Anything, just like sit there and wonder, think. Like when the apple fell on Newton, he wondered. That's why he discovered the gravity. It's like, oh, what made the apple fall? But nowadays, no one is thinking that way anymore. Just like scrolling, wasting their time, not using the most important tool, which is their brain. So I want to ask this directly. Social media killing our creativity? And my honest answer is not by itself, but it's doing a huge contribution to it. Mainly shortening our attention span. When you post something, for example, on TikTok, you usually get likes, comment, and whatever during the very first minutes. So your brain naturally starts to optimize for that loop. You start creating content, not of what you want to create, but what you've seen has more likes than you, like something that would perform better. You start creating for the algorithm before you start creating for yourself. Gradually, without you even noticing, stop taking risks. You just copy-paste every creator out there. The algorithm works in a way that it rewards things that has already been validated. When everything you're seeing on your For You page is already validated, start creating the same things. It's not actually creating because you're just copy-pasting another person's content. And I think most of us forgot the difference between creating content and copy-pasting another person's content. Now, I read before a book called Ikigai. I hope you're a little bit familiar with. If you're not familiar, it's basically a Japanese concept, roughly translated as reason for being. The idea that the most fulfilling life lies in the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs, what you can be paid for. When I first read it, I remember thinking, this is so beautiful. Why is it so rare? Because most people I know are not living their ikigai. People I know, they work that's adjacent to what they like or entirely disconnected from it. I've even stopped being able to even identify what they really care about. I spent so long performing a version of caring for an audience. Social media is a big part of it. Every interest you have becomes something you perform. It stops being yours. Every hobby is documented and shared and rated. Internal experience of it just fades out. The way you're not doing the thing, you're narrating yourself doing the thing. And you can't find your ikigai when you're narrating. Only find it when you're actually living. So what's the answer? Delete everything, go live in the woods? I'm not telling you to be rude or to exclude yourself from society. I'm not telling you to not use TikTok anymore or to stop scrolling entirely. Digital minimalism is a moral stance. It's a design choice for your life. Deciding intentionally and deliberately what gets access to your attention and for how long. It means treating your focus as this finite, non-renewable source that you actually have. It means choosing boredom sometimes. And it's not for punishing yourself, because boredom is generating a room for your brain to actually work. It also means having conversations that aren't always comfortable. And sometimes these conversations don't resolve neatly, where you say something that's too honest and the other person pushes away, and you both come out slightly changed. It means risking some things that aren't for anyone but you. And lastly, I'm not standing here to tell you I have it all figured out. I have cut social media from my life. I don't know, I am painting a whole new version of me, because that's not the truth. I still spend a lot of my time on my social media because I think it's kind of an addiction, honestly. And I still reach for the easy distraction instead of actually working. But at least I know the difference now. I felt it, the difference between killing time and actually spending it. Between scrolling and thinking. And honestly, life is more meaningful than memes or a curated feed. It's more meaningful than a For You page. And the terrifying, beautiful, non-negotiable truth is that no one is going to build this meaning for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this type of content, hit the subscribe button. And see you next week, hopefully. Bye bye!